thank you very much for being very on the game, responding and answering the simple question. And I think that it's one of the qualities we would like to have for our students in the architecture sustainable design, that everyone is engaged and then quite sensitive to the world, very maybe respectful to everyone, because we deal with people, and so it's important that we get to know people and have a conversation with people. And I have here written something saying that, okay, at ASD in this Instagrammable age, we are nurturing the new architect, the architect of the future. And then we do this with consciousness of the problems of Singapore, and then the challenges of climate change, and then the greater things that actually surround us, and then the question on how do we create a better world. And then the question of how do we create a better world means that maybe we actually open opportunity for you to have precise methods to actually challenge this. And then maybe through our AR, VR, our computation, and then even with the AI and machine learning that we have. And so with these skills, you can imagine, like for example, with our engineering product development friends, your friends, the fellow students, you can develop new materials and then maybe 3D print building components or even houses themselves. And then with your engineering systems design friends, you can imagine optimal ways of processes, and also imagining the future aerotropolis, the airport city. And then with your friends from the information systems technology design, with AI and machine learning, you can create speculative scenarios to imagine a beautiful experience for the future. And of course, we have our humanities, arts and social sciences that open us to an understanding of how people behave, how people react, which is very important for us in order to create the world that we want to create for the future. And also we have the Lee Kuan Yew Center for Innovative Cities. And with that, it makes us understand how cities are shaped, how they are governed, and then how beautiful places are actually created. And of course, I am very happy that my colleagues from SUTD and also from ASD, they're always very helpful to the students to actually make things possible for you. And then we also have very fabulous laboratory, the Fab Lab as we call it, and then also the facilities that we have. And it's an envy of even the Massachusetts Institute of Technology that they don't have that, but we have it. And so with this, I think that we are able to imagine things and do things that will help solve the problems of Singapore, and then maybe help in imagining a sustainable world for the future. And so it's a very short time. I think it would be wonderful if we could have the conversation with you. Carlos would share with us some of the details of what's happening in the architecture sustainable design pillar. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them anytime, interrupt us, and then we'll try to answer what we can answer. Okay, thank you. Here's Carlos.
Welcome everyone. We're super happy to see this room almost full. We came from different places. I think you're very excited to be here. We are really excited to be here with you. And we want to show what we do here, which is quite unique. It's very unique. Compared to other universities, we do architecture from a particular point of view, because we think that the future of architecture is a combination of technology and design. So with the combination of new technology and new approaches, we are able to explore architecture in many ways, from sustainability, from form to formats, construction. There's many things we tackle, but always from that combination of technology and design. So we basically tackle challenges for smart cities, for design and fabrication, aviation, data science, history and conservation, social architecture, design computation, and sustainable design materials and structure. So this sounds like really exciting, right? But then you come here and then you're full of questions. Like, okay, now myself, am I prepared? Can I get there? Am I really able to build the skills that are needed to really go there and get to that level. So that's what we do, especially at the beginning in the curriculum. So that's what we're going to show in the first set of slides. So basically, you will be prepared with the skills for the future. So we rely that tools are not just tools, like you have a software that you use. But we realize that we can think and invent using those tools in a creative way. So from the beginning, we take you in the studio to design as if you were working in an office, in an architectural design office. So this is you when you arrive, and this is you when you are out of the university. And then basically what happened there is that everything changed for you. I mean, the skill sets that you get and you gain are completely redefining the way that you look at things and you actually understand reality and definitely architecture. So the space that we have in the studios at the beginning is clean, it's nice. This is what we do. Here we are very hands-on. We rely on making, on exploring, on tasting and failing to learn and to really go to a next level. So this is the space that maybe you have passed by when you came here to this room. It's the studios that we have, where basically we produce kind of these designs. So you're given a desk. It's your desk, it's your space, your chair, your board, where you pin your ideas, where you stay there late. But you're not alone here. You're working with a community. You're working not only with your mates from ASD, but also from EPD, ISTD, has all pillars are actually here, professors, students, researchers, to nurture kind of knowledge and help you actually boost your ideas and to put it in a higher level. So this is what the students do in just 3 weeks. I mean, they say 3 weeks, they just come from zero somehow and then start building skills. And they're able to produce beautiful models that are actually strategies to make buildings without adding, but just subtracting using the ground, natural strategies for using self-shading and natural ventilation principles. And of course, in just 4 weeks, we have an exhibition running of the work that the students are doing, and this exhibition is a nice place. The classes are very, very close. We have a ratio of 1 instructor, 11 students. So the studios are very, taken as a conversation with students. So students produce documents, drawings, models, renderings that we discuss and we put together and we discuss as a group. It's not just an individual piece of work, but it's like a constant collective conversation. So this has 5 weeks of this was done in only 1 week after 5 weeks of studio. So to see the students growing so quickly in our curriculum. And typically when we have guest reviewer, they ask what level is the studio because they think it's a more advanced level. So we have that curriculum that allows students to grow quickly. And we think that that's the way that we try to understand what architecture is. And the dynamics even within the sections and the students is fantastic. We're super close. Even we have this outfit of the day that the students started, groups in WhatsApp. We have as well here, maybe you will recognize Jonathan Chan, ASD student that is an Olympian. So actually he chose ASD knowing that it's not easy, but I think that what you get when you get in ASD and then actually you see yourself in a few months down the road, you really want to be there. I think even it's challenging and to combine with more things that he, as being a professional diver, he's actually super engaged and is actually one of the best students. So we see, we imagine, and we make. So in the studio we make, and also we make the same way that top architects are designing buildings, from small sketches, simple ideas that are turned into a digital model. That's why the tools are important these days. You cannot just go with your pencil. You need proper tools, digital tools. You need technology to address the challenges. And to you will look natural. Like instead of using a pen that you will use, of course, you will use your laptop at the same time, and it will be natural to you. So the model will evolve till we have a 3D model, and then a bit more complex, and then a building. A building like this. Actually, this is the way that this building has been designed. From a very, very early idea of just connecting different courtyards, then we have this. So that's the way also that the students are taught in the studio. So that's why they learn parametric design. Parametric design is a design that is more responsive, is dynamic, so they can make changes real time. So it's not static. You can control the parameters. Be a way to create a device that can cool down the temperature and try to face the climate change. So we build a better sustainable world, so we use natural materials, or the ones that we use as well, let's say steel or concrete, we try to use them in a different way. So bamboo, students are involved always in workshops and using like hands-on, making actual pavilions. This one was in Marina Bay, exhibited in collaboration with Esnoeta, the Norwegian company. But also we try to bring like technology to traditional materials like bamboo. So in this case, it's a project, it's a research project where students are involved, in which the bamboos are cut, scanned, and then with a 3D printer we print the connector for the bamboo, and then it's very, very quickly the assembly, and then you can assemble a big canopy like this one in just one day. So that's what the students learn, that things can be done differently to really cater to different needs. Now we need more efficiency, we need like to cut down cost, we need also to optimize resources. So the students are aware of that architecture is no longer a traditional discipline where it's thinking the architect that is detached to the world. Our students are very close to the world. So this is the Fab Lab that Erwin was mentioning. So this is a big space where students can assemble big things. So you have all the resources that you need to actually take the design outside. And many of the designs that we have been published in the most important architectural blogs like ArchDaily or Design. So students get also visibility to join faculty and researchers to put together a piece of work that can be actually discussed with top level. But also this design was making a place, because we are not just looking at the object itself, we are looking at what it does to the city. So it was like a piece of garden, and then suddenly it's a space that people can gather, and actually there were concerts, there was something happening in the city that didn't happen before. So that's also a will that the students have to change things or to say something new, to spaces that were not activated before. Also, we try to reduce the weight and the amount of material that we use in construction. So students are aware that resources are limited. We cannot use, even when they make the models, they are aware that they cannot use like cardboard or wood or whatever they use for free. They need to be mindful of what they do, right? So we actually take it from the curriculum as well to the project that we do with the students, to the actual real scale projects, in order to reduce the amount of material by, in this case, using 3D printing. So using 3D printing in stainless steel, which is very new, and we have the technology in the university, we developed this table that actually is recognized now, acknowledged recently with the German Design Award. And it's ultralight, it can take 200 kg only touching in 3 small points. It's very new, and we're sending things to the world that are only fabricated here. And now we take that idea to a bigger space that is now sitting in Gardens by the Bay. It's a 3D printed pavilion in stainless steel that now is being published everywhere, and now is able, to be visited. If you have time over this weekend, maybe you can go in and enjoy what we do in SUTD, professors, researchers, and students together to really benefit from the energy and the knowledge that everyone can give. This is a time capsule that we work with the effort of every one of us. Students were involved in the fabrication. So we printed 3,000 unique tiles that were designed to fit together now it's still under construction the last week, so you will see there's parts that are unfinished. Next year will be completely finished. It's quite ambitious project, and it's done by us, by the students. It's not like outsourcing to anyone. So that's also beautiful to see the students putting pieces together to make a big thing that is now one of the icons of the university. But also we reinvent materials, so we are printing with cellulose tall structures. This is a biodegradable material. It's a natural material. So it's not even recyclable. It's like nature into structure. Also, we use AI to not just to design things that we know, but to also explore new things that we don't know. So with AI, we can go further, and this is the design of a table that was developed with Autodesk. So in the university, we have the license of the software that actually, one single click of the software, I think it's about like $200. You can click anytime, and you get all these designs for you to explore. And it's great that the students have that exposure to AI from the beginning, and they can explore designs that could be like revolutionary in the way that they understand aesthetics and structures. So also, we use VR, AR, even in Core Studio 2. In just the first year, first year of education, they're also exposed to working with VR and to see the world in 3D in a very immersive way, which is unique to our curriculum. Nobody's doing this way. And it's the second year we're doing it in SUTD. So maybe next year in the spring you can swing by, the exhibition will be great. We use robots. Robots to fabricate new things. On the left, we're fabricating out of pebbles, kind of sort of gardens. On the right, we use Jenga blocks to create skyscraper designs using AI. So only with the accuracy and precision of a robot, these things can be done. And here we have the professors that can teach you how to code and how to translate your thoughts into a design like this. So we have also overseas experiences that are great in many countries. We're from Inujima in Japan. Our students every year go there and then learn from local architects, learn from the context, learn from top architects like Sejima, how to work in different contexts, how to learn from the current culture and from the context. So we think that students need to be exposed to a different context than Singapore to understand better the world, and then to come back and really have a more informed way of making decisions. So also we have a partnership with Aalto University in Helsinki. So students travel to Helsinki, and then students from Helsinki travel to Singapore. So actually there's a collaborative studio, so both sides are working together into one topic, which is exciting to see how other students are working on the same thing that you are doing, but with a different perspective. And you can talk with them, you can meet them. It was an amazing experience. So in this year, we talk about the Hawker Center. It's a very unique, very, it's very ours. The Hawker Center is something that we live every day with. Hawker Center kind of around your neighborhood. So we wanted to explore how to use technology and design. Can we rethink a bit of the Hawker Center? And then there's an exhibition going on in the National Design Center where the result of the students is exposed in the museum. So students use 3D scans to get millions of points from the Hawker Centers. So these are 3D models captured with a 3D scan, and then we use them to understand space and understand relationship between people, structural elements, the food. So it's a way for us to really address complexity in a different way. This is the model that you can see in the National Design Center, combining physical models, 3D printing, and a projection that makes it actually a quite special way of exhibiting our ideas and can be better communicated to the world.
What is it showing?
This is showing the designs for the Hawker Centers that students thought during the studio time. So these are models done by the students, and the animations is basically showing the flow of people that go in and out of the Hawker Center. So our students went to Helsinki, so enjoying a bit of the snow and the low temperatures there. I also enjoying the beautiful architecture of the Finnish architects, and especially Aalto. And and also seeing other universities and can compare a bit of the means of what they do differently, but we speak similar languages. They're using as well digital fabrication as we do. So that was a beautiful trip. Students were very excited of going there, and the result was really good. And we had a review, a very close review with the professors and the students, having a nice conversation. So actually, the work was also shoot by Channel News Asia, so it's part of the documentary of our Conquer centers. So they look at us as one of the universities who are working very active in redesigning how we design architecture nowadays. So we learn from renowned architects like Sejima, this is Inujima, so we actually have like a top architects super close to the students. So that's quite unique as well in our curriculum, that they could be also talking in Japan directly and sharing ideas and sharing designs with them. So we also tackle kind of new challenges that working like in aviation, the drones. What are going to be the new challenges that buildings will address, since like the way that we use the drones is changing, the way that we live is changing, so we need to give a different response. And the thesis project that the students do are addressing these challenges as well, and very well developed. Talking about healthcare and how a building could also be part of an active part in the well-being and contribute positively to the health of people. What kind of designs can we think about? So we also care for the community.
So the idea is that we are trying to recycle used materials to teach the children about like repurposing and reimagining and scrap materials. So I've actually been in Vietnam twice already for this project. So for the first phase, we were actually working with the MUCD students, the Vietnamese students from Hanoi. And we did a lot of things. We did like research, we did like design workshop. So we've actually come up with like 6 different designs, and then we presented to the villagers and to the principals of the school, and they sort of like gave their feedback and like told us what they needed from the design.
Are also sensitive to adjust the level of technology and the means to different conditions. So when there's no means, there's need to really come up with a, let's say, even clearer idea, and not relying about like a bigger budget, but about like better ideas. And that's why using technology, we think, and combination with design is a way to really give the right answer for even like more underdeveloped places. And definitely we work on the challenges of Singapore and share it to the world. So this was last year, the Venice Biennale of Architecture. So our students were actively involved in the design, fabrication, and also the program that was running in Venice for a number of months. So we share what we do in the world. Architecture is one of, if not the top events in the world about architecture. So the students were actually displaying their work, but also being there and then meeting all these architects and personalities that actually, you know, inspire our students as well. So being part of these events of sharing what Singapore is doing to the world is also quite engaging, and our students were really enjoying that experience. So also we achieved and got recognized. So well, students are developing projects and also they are getting recognition and awards. So many festivals like the IDAC festivals in Singapore are designed, fabricated by them, and they are also getting awards. And also faculty as well are getting first prizes in international competitions, or the buildings and designs that we do with our students are getting acknowledged in the world. So it's also a good exposure and also a great resume for all our students that join those projects, because they're actually putting in the resume that I've been part of a project that has been receiving the Asia Young Designer Award or the President Design Award, for instance. So it's great to have it. So basically, we give a framework for you to develop what you want to be. It's not one top-down approach that we shape architects in a certain way. We think that we give the environment for you to find your way. We're very close and sensitive to find what is the kind of architecture, the kind of understanding of architecture you want to push, so you discover new things. So as an architect in SUTD, to the question like what can I do after I graduate, you can do many things. Our students do many things. They can join a practice, like now actually industry is actually looking very closely in SUTD. Whenever I talk with firms like WOHA, DP, I mean they're actually looking for students in SUTD because the approach that we give is very unique, and even they don't have in the staff that they have, they don't have those architects trained the way that we do it. So actually it makes you quite special, very special for industry. But also you could be, I mean, you can work in brand design, you could be a creative director, because the mindset that we give you and the exposure in combination with other pillars gives you a really broad understanding of architecture and design. So actually it's opening a large amount of possibilities for you to develop your career. So this is in a glimpse what we do. So you can approach us anytime. We are very close. Maybe we have maybe 10 minutes here, so it would be great to talk with you and to know if you have questions. We can discuss. But definitely we are looking forward to having you join the SUTD and to join us to create a better world by design and technology. And this is pretty much what we do, and we will keep doing with you if you decide to join ASD. So thank you so much. Later, when you maybe finish, I brought some models that the students have done with 3D printing technology, so it's quite, maybe I can pass some of them. This is that gas. These are 3D printed models.
So if you have questions, please
This is gas.
ask.
Maybe this is gas.
So before you go out, what do you think? What is the interesting? Unique technology to shape many things. Okay, so we look forward to
Do you have any questions? Yes.
Hi, I'm Sunyi. I'm from UCSI. I was quite interested in one of the professions listed was just in historical science preservation specialist. May I know how does SUTD train their students in that?
I think
we have the only person in Singapore who has received 2 UNESCO awards, and that's Professor Yo Kang-shua.
So Kang-shua is actually leading that part and has a great expertise, of course, like to UNESCO awards. So we address that in the curriculum. We have HTC, so history and theory. So that's a strong component that starts in core 1, core 2, core 3. So this is kind of part of history that we embed in the design. But also there's options studios, and in the options studios, some of the studios could be related to that topic. So we try to options studios, you can choose what you want to do. So it could be high rises, could be like hawker centers, and could be a topic that is more subject to be taken from the historic point of view. So we also tackle design from that angle as well.
It's not official, but it's something that we are actually discussing, that when the students come into ASD and then SUTD, you can actually choose your area of interest. And then maybe with this area of interest, beside the core subjects that you do, you can choose electives and then use these electives to actually create your own specialty. And so while in the Bachelor of Science in Architecture, you already have that specialty, if you continue into the Masters, you can actually dive deeper into it and you would have that specialty. And so maybe in terms of conservation, what is so great with Kang Chua is that he does not do it as superficial as the others, but actually trying to see how new technology can actually help you make things better. So if they do very scientific studies on the materials, very scientific studies on how things are put together, and using the 3D scanning, the technology that we have, they can actually make very precise scan of the structures. And then because you have this very precise data, then you can make very precise proposals for intervention and for restoration. And so I think that makes it very special. Yeah. You would notice we're very excited. No, maybe because we're also very small and we feel how the students feel. And like even yesterday, before this all began, I was down there looking at what was on display and what was being said and transmitted as information. And then my students, the for Studio 1, which is term 4, were there, and then they were gossiping about Carlos and the studio projects. And then I asked them, like, if I'm given a 1 minute, what do I convey to everyone to describe architecture sustainable design? And then they said, well, it's very simple. If you want a work-life balance, come to architecture, because work is architecture. Life is architecture. That's what they said. So I'm just conveying it. I will say this again later.
Yes, I think, yeah, this guy.
So I like to ask, because it seems architecture here is very much on the digital computers. For a student, what kind of base must she come from in order to be able to benefit from this? And if she's not so digitally inclined, what kind of support structure do you have to help them along?
As I mentioned, that I think that we have all the basic courses to actually support them. And then I think the most important part actually is the enthusiasm the student would have. And then also the curiosity to do things. And so it seems like we're only doing something digital, but we also do things by hand. We do urban sketching in order to see the world. So like maybe some of the questions that would come would be that how is math and science related to this? Is it important? I would say that when the pyramid builders build the pyramid, they use math and science to actually create that wonderful structure. And then art is also very important because art teaches us to see the world and then to imagine that what if I do this? And so having these two actually will be helpful. But more importantly, I guess, is that enthusiasm and the curiosity of the student. And we look into it very carefully, that we try not to stress the students. We're actually very carefully looking into how they all perform also because we're very small compared to the other schools. And so we look carefully as to how the students are performing one by one. So maybe that's how I could respond to the question. Is that okay?
So my question was also, like, would she need to come in with certain knowledge of software and things?
Not necessarily. They can learn it from here.
So from day one, typically most of the schools they hire kind of external, let's say we use software by a company, they get the company and then that person comes and teach the team, right? We don't do that. We have faculty doing that. So we don't want to sometimes can do it, and sometimes with other faculty, but we think that it's not outsourcing it someone else. It's basically us teaching what is meaningful of the tool. It's not learning software by the sake of learning software, but we are teaching design, we are teaching architecture, so something needs to be put together with technology. So first week, typically students are into designing with 3D tools. So as Erwin said, the excitement is there because after a week, they're able to do it. They're like, wow, okay, I can maybe still takes a bit of time to get there, but they see that they can do it. After one term, which is 14 weeks, they're experts. I mean, I'm amazed when I pass by the student, they're able to do everything I do myself. So the learning curve is great on them because passion is there. They're really passionate about that. And we start like in a quite smooth curve, so they are not feeling that it's too much for them. At some point, they feel like they can cope with it. And if we see someone that is a bit behind, we support. So,
yeah, one of the best support systems is actually the friends. And because maybe of the freshman way of learning that they do it as a form of learning, they are the best means of support. So we would know sometimes that there are certain issues it's because of the friends, and then the friends actually help solve these things. Yes.
Hi, I'm Erwin. I'm actually interested in the deep area special track, and I was wondering what you think, how you think this ASD course might apply in a healthcare context.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Because I think that we need doctors and architects, and then maybe doctors who know how the environment is, and then how the space could actually be created, or the environment will be created to actually make it suitable for maybe healing, and so I think that you can actually do architecture, and then from architecture you will go into the medical studies. So that's the basic structure of the UK and US partnership between SUTD and UK and US. So you will do the environmental studies here, and then you will continue to become a doctor. So it will be a little bit longer, but I think it will be worth it because you'll be contributing something that is very new, because this is also something very unique, and we have very few people who are actually doing this.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Amra, and next year I'm about to go into the IB program at school. So from what I've heard, we need to choose subjects. So from what I've heard, it's math, physics, and visual arts which would really help. Is there anything else? Any other subjects which would?
I think that what is important is you listen to yourself, you listen to your heart, and what are the things that are interesting to you. And then maybe try to discover these things. And then as you go along about this, you will discover that, maybe this one will be wonderful. So it's math, physics, art, sciences, they will be helpful, but there are things that you are interested in. And then go into this, and then look into it. And then if there are people doing things that you are interested in, study the people. And then look at them, how are they doing it? How are they living their lives? And then maybe this will be helpful. Yes.
Thank you, Professor Carlos, for your interesting talk. I noticed you focus extensively on 3D fabricated parts in your talk. So I was wondering how students are involved in acquiring or procuring non-3D printed parts. So for example, in the talk, you had this bamboo structure.
Yeah.
So I suppose the students were very involved in the printing of the parts and the designing of the parts. But for like the bamboo stick, the bamboo itself, like how are students involved in like getting it? And my second question would be, for like personal projects that involve parts that won't be fabricated within SUTD, how much budget would like the students be getting? And like, would they learn like business skills to how to properly use these funds that they're getting? Yeah.
Good questions. Yeah, the project I showed, the bamboo project, the first one actually was a workshop that we did with non-3D printed components. So it was actually understanding the bamboo bendability, and they were actually bending the bamboo themselves, understanding how many you need to put together to really create an arc, and to bundle them in a way to create a dome. So the students signed up for the workshop, so they were actually drawing before going to the site. We went to the site, started fabricating, filling the material, and then we put together the dome. So that was an approach in which the driver was not 3D printing, was other kind of sustainable driver, was like creating a dome that was actually having lampshades that gets the light from the sun, and then at night was actually creating kind of a nice space there. It was fully powered by natural energy, and the bamboo was actually the support for that. And actually was a different relation between the material and non-3D printed like parts. For the 3D printed parts, students get there because they all know how to 3D print. So in year one, so they know how to do it. So when they join a project that it's related to 3D printed components, there are faculty that mentor them, and basically they tell them, or we decide or discuss like how thick or design should be like working better for that design. So, so we have a broad like way of starting construction. So in terms of budget, they're depending on the type of project that they join. Let's say they join a research project with a faculty. So that could be a bigger grant, and then, I don't know, there's a, I don't know what to say, but a good amount of money, so it's okay, you can actually push ideas in a bigger scale. But we have here actually the UROP, is Europe, which is the undergraduate research opportunities. So are funded, you get about like $1,500, which is good money to start testing ideas. So it's, you can join a group of friends, and then you have an idea, and then you propose the idea. Typically you get the funds, and you can explore that for, let's say, 1 term. And if it goes well, you can go to a next level. So actually, we found like seed ideas, and also when the idea somehow is successful, you can go for a larger fund.
In our studios, we have studios in different countries, and usually we work with this, and then the students are also given subsidy when they do things in materials. So I think it's one of the things also that makes it very unique for SUTD, and sometimes I tell the students that they're very pampered because they have business opportunities compared to the other schools. They don't have anything. So they would say that, oh, you have all this. I said, yes, the SUTD students are very, lucky that we have this, because we want them to do things, and so that's why we open the possibility for them to go to certain places, work with the Pritzker laureates or the Nobel Prize winners of architecture, so they think of things that are way ahead, so the students actually have conversation with them, and then even with the local architects, also the leading architects, we have a constant conversation with them, and then we try to make effort to bring all these people to create this opportunity for learning also.
Thank you,
It's 13:08, maybe the last question? Yeah, because I've been told to cut my yeah, please.
Hi, I'm Sophia from DHS, and my question I think would be something that a lot of people would ask. So, like, what kind of students do you look for? Yeah, what main characteristics do you look for?
I think that, as I said in the beginning, we look for students who are enthusiastic, curious, respectful, and who want to help make a better world. And I think that is very important. All the skills in computing, in math, this can be learned. But being yourself is the most important thing. So you can be what you want to be. Is that all right? Okay. Thank you very much.